focused all these years. The time has come now to focus on these things. And teaching from the syllabus, setting the same thing I was just telling them, and the marks have no relevance now. Earlier, first class, one or two people used to get first class. Third class, plenty. Now it has been reversed. Pyramid has been reversed. All of them are first class, and very few are second and third classes. Failures are also very few. So that the marks are not indicative of the caliber of the student. He gets 80% marks, but his knowledge processes around 65%. And in HR, they expect the student to answer at 80% caliber, and they ask the questions of that level, and students are not able to answer. So that is the reason people are commenting on there is a lot of gap between the knowledge and the marks or mark sheet or testimonial what he has possessed. The examination orientation of teaching and learning happening. In private engineering colleges where there is a depth of faculty across the globe, not only in India, and the AICTE norms need to be followed. In US, 100 students can sit in a class or 200 students can sit in a class. With PA system, one can deliver the lecture, but it is not permitted in our circumstances in India. So we need to have the more number of teachers. The teachers are qualified on paper, but not are qualified on the classroom. So that shortage has made them to have a tailor-made lectures in the class that they can cover 3 to 4 questions. If they cover the syllabus pertaining to 3 to 4 questions, students are happy, teacher is also happy. So learning is not happening completely, and engineering education is a sequential education, step-by-step education system. Then resulting in a degree generation rather than generation of knowledgeable people for a knowledgeable society. Then our society is a knowledgeable society now. So everybody gets a degree of engineering, and every third person is possessing the degree of engineering, but hardly anybody getting a job, suitable job. Unemployment not a problem, but underemployment is a big problem in our country. They are doing all irrelevant jobs, okay, which they are not supposed to do. Then industry vehemently declaring them unfit for the present industry. There is a gap, 20%, 25% are job ready and remaining are not ready. And since there is a big gap of learning and the industry required skills or knowledge, then we need to think twice before designing the syllabi. Next, not only the syllabi but also the teaching approach need to be changed drastically. Now the outcome-based education is the mantra for entire globe in engineering education, and thanks to NBA, they have taken up from last year, and we are one of the nodal centers at JNTU Kakinada, training all the teachers, principals and the faculty for going for NBA accreditation and also designing NBA based, outcome based curriculum and deliver the curriculum effectively. Then outcome based education is about preparing students for life and not simply getting them ready for college or employment. Education should not be based on employment. Education is based on the knowledge and lifelong. Once he has got the basic knowledge, he can apply that basic knowledge to any kind of application, any kind of industry, he must be able to deliver. An outcome is a culmination or culminating demonstration of learning. Outcome-based education focuses on defining, pursuing and assuring success with the same high-level culminating outcomes for all the students they possess or they pursue the engineering education of their interest. Next, the outcome-based main objectives. So the learning is, it is not what you teach, it is focused on what they learn, how they learn. There is a saying, what you teach is not that important, but how you teach is important. What you teach is common for across the country, almost the same syllabi, 10% this way, that way changes, but very few teachers are remembered because how you teach is important. And teacher should concentrate how to teach depending upon how the students learn. One should know how the student learn. This can happen only in schools, but in professional education, it is not the botheration of the teacher, but nowadays we need to even do that job in the classroom. First understand the students, how they can learn, and then accordingly you can teach and say that it is your responsibility to see that they learn in the classroom. In the US, it is the professor's responsibility that you have to make them learn. It is whole botheration responsibility is on the teacher. But here, we come take classes, show the proof that you have covered the syllabus, show the attendance register, and then our job is done. We never bother whether the student is doing successfully or not. The students who are unsuccessful, we never bother about them for conducting remedial classes. It is their fate that keep on trying second time, third time, and luckily if he get through, he will get through by his own efforts, but not the efforts of the teacher and the institution, which are equally responsible as the student. Then teaching is focused on what they learn and how much they learn and how they learn and how they apply the basic knowledge on applications. So you have to test that by giving assignments or tutorials, by conducting tutorials, okay, once in a month at least. That is the indicator where you can say that how the students' approaches are, how differently student is applying the knowledge, how differently student is learning. These things are obtained from tutorials or assignments. Now, adopting outcome-based approaches, as the starting point, define clearly what students should be able to do on completing their course of each subject. That is called intended learning outcomes. And it should be indicated that what are the learning objectives of this topic or this chapter. They only unmask first only one answer at a time, and they develop. We give 8 questions, they need to write 5. So we create 8 different files of the same answer booklet, and then we transfer them to the Spot Center. What we do is, we send only first questions of all subject to one Spot Center remotely through internet. They only value the first answers of a same subject by the same teachers or group of teachers in one Spot Center on computer screen with a mouse and a keyboard, and they award marks. And there is a template in pop-up. The original answer is supplied to them. They can refer to the original answer and then value. So uniformity across the candidates will be maintained. And 8 questions, if any clever student writes 8 questions, 8 different teachers at 8 different centers are valuing. Okay, so the error will come reduced, or the type of teachers they evaluate are totally different. And even today, conventionally, I turn all scripts and only value the first answer whoever is attempted. Though it pains me a lot physically, but I do that because after 10 years also, if you supply those 2 answer booklets and ask me why you have given 4 and 8, I can read both and then read the question, read both answers. I can say why I have given 4 here, why I have given 8 there. So that much accuracy one can maintain. And after that, once these marks are awarded on the screen, it will directly come to our server. And that server will sum up the total for 8 answers, and best 5 is also taken. So no human interference, No scope for manipulation, no scope for error. So these can be eliminated. And it takes more or less the same amount of time from scanning to the results declaration. And the answers, once we declare the results, we are planning to make them available for 1 week time, 7 days time, to every student to just see, read only facility once we announce the results. After that, it will go into the database. And if a student wants a printout of that or email of that answer booklet, we charge some minimum fees, then we will transfer that to the candidate. So this mechanism can be possible. We can store this database till he leaves the institution from first year to fourth year. Next. This is the thing what the JNTU Kakinada is implementing. But the other places, Bangalore and Chennai, what they are doing, they are all cutting the scripts, cutting the spine of the scripts. They put all 100 bundles, 100 scripts, cut the spine, put it in a automatic book scanner. You don't require many machines, many people, manpower is not required. That will keep on doing back forth scanning, and then the other side he will collect and again pin it, and then that will be not segmenting. They are only taken as only all 40 pages or 32 pages as a single file, and single file they are doing. Again, I can answer the first question, suddenly he writes fifth question. I have to memorize fifth answer, suddenly eighth question. And the other person will never write this, he will second, fourth and seventh. So how can I be more accurate in remembering all the answers?